Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. Well, I've got a number of requests from viewers that I speak on the subject of the Pope and his shenanigans. Okay. Well, no one should be surprised at this point. We did a documentary series, the Whited Out series, and so we've touched on a number of things in that series. Specifically, part 3 of the Whited Out series talks about the strong delusion that comes forth from the Christian church. And so none of this comes as a surprise to us at all, because the Catholic Church, trust me when I say this, they were given no authority by the Most High to change anything. Okay. So when we saw the headline, we actually saw it before anyone requested the video. We just hadn't had a chance to speak on it. But when we saw that he is giving an endorsement for same-sex marriage, we were not surprised in the least, because, again, we are talking about the Catholic Church and the Christian faith. Now, some of you who follow this channel, you are still Christian, and that's because you were probably born into it, or even if you came into it afterward, you haven't really seen all of the ins and outs of the origins of this religion. One thing I will say is this before I get into the whole subject of the Pope. When we speak about or against Christianity, it is not for you to take offense, because there was no one in ancient times calling themselves Christians. Trust me when I say this. I know you read that in the Bible when they say that they were first called Christians at Antioch. That word was not the original word that was there. Okay, so Christianity is the way it is right now. Trust me, it wasn't called Christian back in the day, and it has nothing to do with being Christ-like, because even the Messiah, Hamashiach, was not called Christ. All of this is made up. So if you look at Whited Out Part 3, you will see exactly what we're talking about. But back to the Pope. So he gives his endorsement or his approval of same-sex marriage. So basically, he is telling two women that they can just nasty each other out. He's telling two men that they can just nasty each other out, that they can just do whatever their flesh desires, despite claiming to be a strong, high representative of the Bible or of the Most High. The Pope is going completely against what the Most High has said in his word. He's going up completely against nature, because, and I don't mean to sound gross here, so let me say this. If this is not a subject that you think is good for children, please remove them, okay? Because some subjects we try to censor as much as we can, but sometimes, when you're trying to get a point across, you say certain things a certain way that may not be good for the ears of children, okay? The Catholic Church, the Pope in particular, giving his endorsement for homosexuality or same-sex marriage. No one should be surprised. After all, the Catholic Church has so many indictments against them concerning what some of their high-up priests and cardinals and things of that do to little children, boys and girls. You see, so this is not a shock nor surprise to me at all. Okay. When I see these kinds of things, I just say we're just getting closer and closer and closer and closer to something that was prophesied, okay? Closer to something that was prophesied. This whole system is set up to crumble at a certain point, okay? And what we see is that happening right now. It is all unraveling. The scripture tells us that evil men will wax worse and worse. And unfortunately, some people are so fooled by religion that because the Pope, whom they deem as someone so holy and righteous, has given this endorsement, there's a lot of people who are going to follow suit with this. They're going to say, oh, I guess the Pope heard from God And it's okay now. And so, it is what it is. This is how people are. They're going to justify what they want to justify. The scripture actually tells us, it was prophesied that people are going to begin to call good evil and evil good. And so this is why when someone speaks against things like this, all of a sudden they are the evil ones. How dare you speak against something that billions of people like? How dare you speak against it? But the one who is turning the grace of Yah into lasciviousness, that's going to be called good, because people are basically saying, let people love who they want to love. I'm going to tell you right now, two men on top of each other doing whatever they do ain't got nothing to do with two folks loving each other. Trust me. Okay? Two women kissing up on each other has nothing to do with two folks loving each other. This is just a simplistic way of justifying foolishness. You see, people want to justify things, so they're going to give you the softest way to make it sound so good and so innocent, and making those who don't agree with such lifestyles to be the monsters. That's just the way the world works. That's the way it works. So this is why there's this soft conversation now being had about pedophilia. They're saying, look, these people were born this way. They can't help who they love. You see, it starts with one thing. They knew they couldn't legalize that first. They knew they had to come in and say, okay, two men together, not bad. Two women together, not bad. They knew they had to legalize that first because they couldn't start in on the children. But what that does is it opens up the gateway for them to kick down the door and say that there is nothing wrong with them messing around with other folks' children. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to justify that, and so they have to let that open first. Open the door to the other first, so that they can merge right into what people despise. They're going to have a hard time, though, trying to convince parents that it's okay for some big, hairy man to mess with their child. They're going to have a hard time convincing anyone of that. I'm trying to figure out, what children are they saying are going to be available for these people to do whatever it is they want to do? What children are they talking about? Because I don't think anyone is going to line up and allow that to happen to their children without putting up something fierce. And I can't even call it a fight. You can't even call that putting up a fight. I mean, you're opening up the gates of hell when you think that parents are going to go along with this foolishness that they are calling legal, or that they're trying to call legal. They're softly introducing bills to get you used to it first, and then next thing you know, they chip away something else. Then another big chunk is chipped off, and then so on and so on and so on until it's no longer illegal. Woe unto them that call good evil and evil good. Anyway, those of you who wanted me to talk about the issue of the Pope, there it is. Foolishness at its best. But this is what they use. They use their religion to affect worldly laws that people will become desensitized to, and next thing you know, they're going along with it as if there is nothing wrong with it at all, and then they make it seem as though those who oppose this are the ones with the real problem. If you oppose deviant lifestyles, you are the one with the problem, that they are trying to make that claim. They're trying to make that claim that you're the problem. You are the problem. Woe unto them that call good evil and evil good. But this is the world we live in. You can't uphold righteousness without being called judgmental. People call you that because they don't want to do right. And they want you to shut up about it. Don't say anything about the lifestyle that I have chosen. That's how many people think and believe at this day and time. But guess what? Guess what? The Most High is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He changes not. And so the same judgment he had for this stuff way back when is coming again. It never left. But people, they think because the Most High is having a bit of mercy and he's not slamming right away, that he has forgotten. But he says, no, I haven't forgotten. there is a day of reckoning, and it is fastly upon those that dwell upon the earth. I am done with this video. For those of you who have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, share and like this video. And with that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.